The Mayans of Central America are believed to be the first to discover cocoa as early as 900 AD. They learnt that the beans inside the cocoa pods could be harvested and made into liquid that would become a treasured Mayan treat. Mayan chocolate was very different than the chocolates we know today. It was a liquid made from crushed cocoa, chili peppers, and water. There was no sugar in Central America, though. They poured the liquid from one cup to another until a frothy foam appeared on the top. In fact, the word chocolate is said to come from the Mayan word chocolatl, which means bitter water. It may have been bitter water, but it was held in such high esteem that Mayans called it the food of gods. Cocoa was so revered that images of cocoa pods were painted on the walls of stone temples, and Mayan artifacts have been found that show kings and Mayan gods drinking chocolate. Cocoa was often drank during religious ceremonies and marriage celebrations. All Mayans could enjoy cocoa, regardless of their social status. When the Aztecs conquered the Mayans, they were forced to pay taxes to the Aztecs. These taxes were called tributes, and they were paid in cocoa, so the Aztecs, who couldn't grow their own cocoa, would always have a supply. 4 beans equals 1 pumpkin, 10 beans equals 1 rabbit, and 100 beans for a slave. Isn't that amazing? By 1400 AD, the Mayan power was decreasing. The Aztecs ruled over the highlands of central Mexico, far from the rainforests of Mayans. Since the Aztecs could not grow their own cocoa, they had to trade to get the beans. The Aztecs also had their own word for chocolate, chocolatl, which was very similar to the Mayan word chocolate. Quetzalcoatl was a Mayan god. He was the god of wisdom. Because of cocoa beans being so popular, they believed that the wisdom was from cocoa beans. So he was so popular back in the Mayan time. Hernan Cortes was Spanish. He arrived in central Mexico looking for land. When he reached the Mayan territory, they thought he was the god Quetzalcoatl. As of that, he managed to take over the Mayans and the Aztecs in only 2 years. After the Spanish had taken over the Mayans, they got 2 things. 1 was land, 2 was they took all the cocoa beans back to Spain. Can you believe it? It wasn't popular before the king started drinking it in court. Then it was spread around all of Europe.